Alright folks, welcome to yet another in our series of faceless videos on the topic of construction. So now that we have gone through some of the basic constructions where the angles are concerned, we're going to start constructing shapes. So what we're going to do is start constructing shapes where all the sides are of the same length, right? So we're talking equilateral triangle, we're talking square. Following that, we'll move on to a rectangle. Following the rectangle, we will do the parallelogram and the trapezium. Good? And that will set us up to start dealing with rhombus and all them kind of things, right? Chiton and things. But let me start with the basics. As with most things in life, we start with the basics. So we start, as always, as we had discussed previously, with our baseline. Good? So you have your page here, and you have your baseline. Right, remember you want a baseline that is a bit longer than what you will actually be using. So in this video we're going to start by we're going to start by constructing, let us say, an equilateral triangle of side 9 centimeters. So in other words, every single side of this triangle is going to be the same, and we know that once all the sides are the same, it means that all the angles will be the same. How many angles are there in a triangle? We have 3 angles in a triangle. And if all the angles in the triangle are equal, then the amount of each angle will simply be 180 degrees divided by 3. And 180 divided by 3 we know is our good friend 60. So the first thing we need to do, and I need you to pay attention here now, is to mark the first corner of the triangle. So we mark, let me call that the corner A. Alright, and the next thing we're going to do now is to measure the 7 centimeters using the compass. We're not going to measure, is 9 centimeters or 7 centimeters? 9 centimeters, I think it was. In any case, whatever it is, that's not important now. So let me go with 9, right? I think it was 9, but we're moving forward. You measure your side of a triangle using the compass. So what you're not going to do is measure 9 centimeters here, which is what some people do, right? That is a shortcut, and it is not really what we want, right? You have to show your construction using your arcs. So you're measuring your 9 centimeters using our good friend here. All right, so let me start. Now this ruler is well marked off. We have the 0 well inside of the end of the ruler. So this time I will take the liberty of starting from 1. Right? It's kind of difficult holding this thing up on a vertical surface. So you all have to bear with me a little bit. Alright? I have to do it so that you actually see the process that I'm going through. Hopefully you will have your own stuff on a horizontal surface, and you're following and doing exactly what I'm doing as we go along. Right? That look kind of 9-ish, right? That look like 9, right? Yeah, that's 9. Well, it must be 8.99, but we're taking that for the time being. Right, so we measure 9 using our ruler. Again, I want to repeat, don't measure the side of the triangle here. Right? You don't need to do that. Measure it on the ruler, and then you show your nice construction lines. So you put the point here. Remember your compass tight. Alright? And you scribe. Push. 1 arc. And then you come here with the same radius. And we scribing again. Right? Yes, don't mind the shadows and thing, right? The whole lighting setup not as perfect as we want it to be yet, but we get in there. And then you sketch the second circle. Equilateral triangle setup perfectly there. So your next step, as always, would be to join the vertices, right? So this is your one vertex, you join it here, and then you come here and you join with the second one, and that right there is your equilateral triangle. All right, and then of course the next step would be to darken whatever it is you were constructing. So you darken this base here, this side here, let me call that the base, right? You darken that. You darken this side here. And you darken this side here. And that is the equilateral triangle. Right? So let me call this point B and let me call this point C. Right? Now ideally your arc line should be a little lighter than this, right? This is still too dark. But as I said, it's difficult. Right now I am working on a vertical surface, so the mechanics of that are a little different to if you're working on a horizontal surface. So I want to encourage you all, as you draw the arc, draw it light, but it must be bold enough so that it is seen, obvious, right? You don't want it to be a case where they can't see the arc. And that's the construction. Look how nice and easy that was, right? And you could do that for an equilateral triangle of any length. Good? So that's it. So equilateral triangle. Next step now we're going to move on to the construction of a square.